Welcome back to the Talk Yours podcast. In today's episode, we will be ranking every single starting small forward plus like 5 or 6 more. We are recording this in the same day as the last podcast. That's why we're wearing the exact same things. We're not weird. But
We're just
in case, I mean, you
We're on the
assume it's
grind.
a different day. But yeah, okay. So let's just go ahead and get into it because I think just doing the list alone will make it a pretty long
Yeah.
podcast.
Yep.
And we'll speed a little bit through the first like 35 through 31, but like, yeah, but we're gonna go in depth. At number 35, the worst one on this list, Cedi Osman. Just overall, we had to put him here just because
Needed to
the shooting guard one was before the Donovan Mitchell trade, so we've already done 3 Cavalier shooting guards or slash small forwards.
Two.
Cedi Osman, 2.
Yeah, because Texan got traded.
That's right.
Oh no, because there's Mitchell, Levert, and Okoro.
No, that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Cedi Osman though, just he's a decent player. He can shoot, not really too good of a defender. But yeah, who do you have?
Last spot I got Cedi Osman. A lot of the same things you said. He's just okay.
Yeah.
He's not even someone I would really start. You know,
I don't think
Yeah.
he will start.
He's a
We need the Cavs player on
like
this list.
yeah, he's a rotational player.
I want to say I'm right when I say this because I think in the point guard and shooting guard we all had the same player for last. I think it remains true here. I have Cedi Osman at 35. Same reasons that everyone said. I think he could be a contributable role player on a team, but
Right.
not a good starter.
Also, by the way, I just now realized you didn't put Cam Reddish.
I wanted to put Cam Reddish. I wanted to put Cam Reddish so bad, but I was like, I can't put Cam Reddish. He doesn't start. He's off the bench. It's like,
Okay, that's fine. Number 34, we have Doug McDermott. Good shooter all around. It's kind of the same player as Cedi Osman. He can do a little bit more. Not top 30.
Number 33, I've got Jayshawn Tate. Wait,
34.
34. Who am I missing?
Do you not do all 35?
No, I did all 35. I copied and pasted. I'll figure it out when I get there. All right.
how are you missing one?
Do we really want to go through all of them right now?
Just keep going. Okay.
All right.
Next one's whatever.
Number 34, I got Jayshawn Tate. I think.
I think you missed a player.
God, I fucking missed.
We can correct it later. So
Alright.
Jayshawn Tate?
Jayshawn Tate.
Heck,
I just think like for what he is supposed to be, he's not as good of a 3-point shooter as he needs to be.
supposedly, he's like a good shooter now.
No, but I'm basing this on what I saw last season. So, otherwise, he's an undersized bit.
3-4.
He's an undersized 3-4, but he's really efficient inside. So, obviously he's
TJ Tucker.
able to do what he needs to do. Yeah,
he has the
but he
shooting.
needs to get better because I think it was something like 30. Or it was 40% of his 3-point attempts came from the corner, and from there
doesn't
he only
really
shot
efficiency.
32%. So he needs to shoot better than that from the corner.
34. I got Dougie McBuckets. He's on the Lakers. He's gonna be lethal, but he's not on the Lakers, so he's number 34.
Okay. Number 33, I have Bruce Brown.
Wow.
Just,
Whoa.
I understand he brings a lot to the table, but it's just overall,
Wow.
his lack of a jump shot, he wasn't really that good.
He was shooting last year.
Last season,
Yeah.
he, not during the regular season, not that
He
much.
was hitting shit.
Maybe in the playoff. That playoff season,
I
was
saw
the
that
best thing.
playoff run by Bruce Brown, and I was like, "What is this man on?"
I just think that these next kind of 4 or 5 are kind of in the same tier. So
I guess you
I
could
just,
say that.
it's kind of interchangeable.
Okay. Number 32, I've got Denny Advia. I just think like, again, I just don't see a lot from him in terms of being like a starter. Obviously, he's a good playmaker.
He's probably like
At
one of
the
the better
three.
playmakers on this.
He's
list.
improved on
He's one of the better
defense.
playmakers.
He's a really
on
good defender, also.
But his lack
he's
of
still what?
offensive consistency or offensive ability, period, in terms of getting his own shot, definitely hurts him because as a playmaker, you want the ball to be in his hands. But if he doesn't also have the threat of scoring, it really limits what
Potential's
he can do.
there, but
Potential's there, but as of right now, he doesn't have the skill set for me to rank him any higher.
yeah. I got Denny at 33 also.
Okay. At number 32, I have Jayshawn Tate. Just needs a jump shot. He's a good all around. Just needs a jump shot.
Okay. Number 32, I've got Doug McDermott. Similar thing to what you said. I think he's just Cedi Osman in a lot of ways, but just a little bit more refined, a little bit better. He was decent last year, but again, he's another one of those guys that's like borderline. I don't think I would start him if I had the choice. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. I'm trying to see these guys' stats, but it's not pulling up. I have Deshaun Tate at 32.
Okay.
Okay. Number 31, I have Danny Avdia. Just overall, he's really improved on defense. He has the playmaking. His shot, it's still going to get there. Overall, he's still really young, so there's no reason to kind of rush putting him higher, but he's good.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Number 31, I've got Reggie Bullock.
Wow.
That's low.
That's insane.
No.
I'm not. That's borderline
Yeah.
insane.
No, I'm.
I
Okay.
mean,
Okay.
okay.
All right.
I don't-
You
like-
want to elaborate?
You want me to?
Yeah,
explain?
yeah.
You do a whole essay for Danny
I want-
Avdia.
I want to hear.
No. So Reggie Bullock, I honestly think after watching him in the playoffs too, like everyone's gonna look better when you're playing next to Luka, right? You're gonna get open shots. You're gonna be able to.
He was good on the Knicks.
He was decent on the Knicks.
He was the only one who showed up in the Knicks series. I'm not.
He
even
was
gonna
good
lie.
on the Knicks.
Right, but honestly, looking at like okay, what he's good at is like he's a good help side defender at the top of the key. Watching those games, like he's an underrated help side defender when it comes to like coming up to the top of the key and guarding that like mid range area.
Yeah.
Right, but I don't know. I don't see a lot from him. Like he'll have one good game and then. You wanna explain to the viewers
My
what's
cousin's
happening?
playing Fortnite.
What are the stakes?
He's playing Fortnite, and if he doesn't win, we can't get caned. So
It was a 1v1.
just win. You suck. You choked it. Okay.
Okay, but Reggie Bullock. So I think I've established this. I value consistency a lot when it comes to players, and Reggie Bullock is a player that I can't depend on to be consistent. And along with that, like I said, he gets open shots a lot because he plays with Luka, and you know, to that point, I don't think I can rank him higher in terms of what he brings entirely.
I feel like most teams have a good point guard that can get your shooting guard and small forwards open shots.
Yeah, but not all of those teams have Luka, who creates the amount of gravity that he does on the floor and has the amount of vision, like the vision that he does. It's like playing with Jokic. Your stats are going to look better because you're going to get more open shots, and he's going to find you when you're open.
I guess, yeah. I'll hype him up when I get him. Mateen, who do you have 31?
31. I think I have this guy lowest. I have Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon. He's old. He's older. Yeah, I have him pretty.
It's not crazy, but
It's not crazy.
low.
Like it's in like this range. I'd put Eric Gordon anyway.
I mean,
Yeah.
even looking at his stats last year,
He played good. He's a micro dude. If he gets going, he can put up like 30. Like he's a scorer. He's a good
lot
scorer.
of teams need that.
Yeah, it's just that there's a reason why he's not getting traded because no one wants to give a first round pick for him.
Yeah.
It's just he's a good player. He'd be a very good player on a championship at caliber team. He's too he's too small. He's too small to play the three. His defense does hurt him to play the three. He's a good shooter. He can score the ball. He's old. That's the reason I have him this low.
Okay.
Okay. Number 30, it's going to be low, but this guy's played the most limited role. He's played a way more limited role than the rest of the players in the list. Number 30, I have Jaden McDaniels.
Jeez.
Just overall, I mean, so far he's just been a backup forward that he did play really good in the playoffs. He shot I think 50% from three, which is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously a one series sample size, but I mean, I love recency bias. I think he can always improve, but there's just some players I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to.
Yeah.
And he's just young. You know, he has so much time to go up in this list over the years. I'm fine putting him low and putting some veterans higher.
Okay. Number 30, I have Bruce Brown. I think it's a fair spot to put him because, again, I think his scoring numbers, like, you know, those games he had in the playoffs when he had like 20 points or whatever he had, I think that definitely gets inflated by the fact that he's playing with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, and he doesn't have a lot of defensive attention on him. And it you know, because they're shooters, he can get into the paint a little bit easier and all that. But otherwise, everything else he does on the floor, he does well. He doesn't really have a weakness in his game. He's an athletic player. He defends well enough. He has decent vision too. He rebounds well. At the same time, he just doesn't have a really good offensive game.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't see him being someone who is going to create his own shot at any point. I mean, he's a sit in the corner guy, or, you know, maybe catch a lob or catch something in the paint and hit a floater.
Yeah.
But, like, other than that, he's pretty limited in what he can do.
At number 30, I'm also the lowest on this guy because I think he's a very similar player to Eric Gordon. I have Bojan Bogdanovic. He just got traded to the Pistons.
Oh, that's low. What?
Yeah, I have him really low.
30?
Yeah. Did you see the guy's defense?
a 20-point per game scorer
You
is
seen
in
his
30.
defense?
I don't
I
care
don't give a
about his
fuck about how much
defense.
he's put on. I value defense. I don't give a fuck how much he's scoring. He can't play defense. He's old. He can't move. He's not fast. Sure, he can score, but as you can see, that's not led to anything. So I have him at 30.
I mean, I guess you have to win a championship for it to lead to something.
He doesn't. They haven't even got close. Fuck you mean win a championship? They haven't even got close to winning. Jazz haven't got close at all to winning a championship.
I mean, I guess I wouldn't really put that on Bojan more than just coaching and
That is true, but
personnel.
I have him
and-
very low because of his defense.
That has to be so ironic
How was that ironic?
because you haven't said Joe Harris.
Yeah.
I value Joe Harris is like that. I don't care. His defense is.
Bojan's like that too.
The thing is,
Nah,
Joe
Bojan-
Harris's defense is not as bad as Bojan's. Joe Harris is serviceable on defense. They're not gonna go hunt Joe Harris.
But
They're
no
gonna-
one's been hunting Bojan.
It doesn't matter.
I guess because he
Luka
had-
was the fuck
He wasn't hunting Bojan.
He
It was
was.
more like
hunting. Luka
like-
hunts anyone.
it was like
Doesn't
Mitchell and
fucking matter.
Conley.
Doesn't fucking matter. Luka's hunting anybody.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
he
how
hunted anybody,
is
so-
that a knock against Bojan then? Because he's
Bojan
hunting
can't
everybody.
play defense.
But you just said
That's
Lucas
what I'm
hunting
saying.
everybody. How is that a point?
My point is that Bojan can't play defense
Against
And if you-
Luka.
Against anybody.
But
He can't
you're
play
using
defense.
Luka as an example. Like, if you're gonna say Luka
Can't-
hunts everybody
can't
and then say
I also think Bojan's a better defender than Eric Gordon.
Yeah. Why do you think I have him one higher?
Oh, you
One
already
higher.
said Eric Gordon?
Yeah, I said
oh,
Eric Gordon,
okay,
31.
okay. I guess. Okay.
I'm just not too high on Bojan.
Number 29, I have Joe Harris. He's just, I mean, what he's good at, he's good at. He shoots like 46% from three, really good. Didn't show up in the
He's
playoffs.
the
last
best
time he
shooter
was
on
in
the
the
list.
playoffs.
He's the best shooter on the list.
Yeah, regular season, he is.
He's the best shooter on the list.
I'm not gonna hate because honestly, if you really look at the stats, Joe Harris, he might have they might have choked the Nets might have choked that Bucks series, but he still shot 40% in that series. Which I mean, it's definitely a drop off to what you're compared to in the regular season, but that's still pretty at 40%. So yeah, that's why I have Joe Harris.
number 29, I have Malik Beasley. The shooting numbers are a little bit deceptive because he takes a lot of threes and that kind of skews his overall field goal percentage. But, he's another one of those guys that, can get you a bucket and not really much else.
Yeah, if you shoot below 40%, I don't know about you to be honest. Even if you're shooting a bunch of threes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
29, I got Malik Beasley also. He was good the year, not last season, but the year that Ant was a rookie, I think he averaged like 19. So he was really good then.
Yeah.
But he's still very good. He's just not as good as other players on this list.
Okay. And number 28, I have Eric Gordon. He gives you a little bit more shot, or actually a lot more, I guess. He's able to create his own shot, unlike Joe Harris, so he's like slightly above, but they're pretty much the same kind of player.
Number 28, I've got Jaden McDaniels. Unrefined offensive game, really great defensive potential. Got a lot of length, got a lot of quickness, a lot of athleticism. If he gets a jump shot, he's going to definitely be a starting caliber for sure. Small forward for a while, but as of right now, just doesn't offer a lot offensively, and is primarily a defensive player.
28, I got Joe Harris.
Okay. Number 27, Matisse Thybulle. I actually had him
Yeah,
lower.
That's low.
I had him lower,
That's
but
low.
Generational hate.
it's not.
Thibault is without question top 2 on this list defensively.
No,
Top 2 on this
Top
list
three.
defensively. Top 2.
Kawhi McCall.
Yeah, I forgot McCall.
Top 3.
I guess.
I'd even say I like OG's defense better, but at the end of the day,
Whoa.
I mean, he can't play on ball. Matisse Thybulle, as much as his defense is good, he's not an on-ball defender. He's
It's a
literally just
unique
off-ball.
defensive style.
And he is a worse offensive player than Isaac Okoro, and that kind of says something for sure. He can't hit it through. I mean, and don't get me wrong, he could move up so much higher because the NBA is a league where like one season you could not have a jump shot, and the next you can just shoot.
Brooke Lopez. Bro.
Brook Lopez, and yeah, that's exactly what I had in mind. Just the most crazy transformation. So he has the potential, but so far from what I've seen, I mean, he's just a liability on offense, and I can't have it that high because offense is better. Offense is more valued than defense. We all know this.
Is it?
Is it?
When was the last time an offensive-oriented team won the chip?
But I'm just talking about individual defense.
Okay, but Corby, your point about him playing off ball and not playing on ball or being like not as good
Giannis
on
isn't
ball.
that good on ball.
Yeah, and Giannis won a depoy. Value is value. Like on ball looks sexier when you see a guy locking someone else up, but value is value. And the fact of the matter is, Matisse Thybulle is the third most valuable defender on this entire list.
But
I mean, ranking him in the bottom bottom like 12.
bottom third is
like bottom, not even bottom third. This is like bottom sixth.
Yeah.
Like
Bottom-
you're saying there's like 80% of the small forwards that start.
It's like what you said
Right.
in a league where there is so much offense, you need defense somewhere on the court, and Matisse Thybulle will give you defense.
That's, I mean, I get, in theory that's fine, but Matisse Thybulle is that bad on offense, and it's just something where you just have to agree. Like,
Was
someone
Tony
who-
Allen good on offense?
he's
no one
better,
get-
better than Matisse Thybulle.
I don't know.
Matisse Thybulle can't even drive. Matisse Thybulle is not even that good with the free throw shooter. I mean, what can Matisse Thybulle do besides, I guess, cut?
And yet he's in at the end of games.
Yep.
He closes games because he's valuable.
I mean,
He's that valuable.
He's a bench player to Danny Green, or was, I guess. I don't know. Okay.
Okay.
All right, let's move on. Who do you have it?
Sorry, I lost my spot. We're at 27.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got Sadiq Bey at 27.
What?
Hey.
Okay,
Yeah,
do we have such different opinions?
I'm
That's
convinced that you don't watch basketball.
How do I not watch basketball?
Okay, I was a hypocrite because I said you can't shoot under 40%, but Sadiq Bey does shoot under 40%. But at the same time,
If you have Sadiq Bey that low, I might be in trouble for how high I have him.
You might be in trouble.
I have him a little higher. Maybe not like
I have him
higher, but
very higher. Very high.
Because for me, looking at him, he's another guy who plays in an offense where he gets a lot of shots because he's the second best player in that offense, and he wouldn't be in another offense, right? So the points he scores are a little bit inflated again. Another thing about him is, yeah, he shoots under 40%, so he's inefficient, and I don't know. It's the same point I made with Malik Beasley. When you're a guy that shoots under 40% and doesn't have that efficiency, and he doesn't even take as high a percentage of threes as Malik Beasley. Like Malik Beasley takes 10.8 shots per game, 8.1 of those are threes. For Sadiq Bey, he takes 13.9 shots per game, 7.4 of those are threes.
I mean, Sadiq Bey.
How much of those shots are due to Jeremy Grant and Kid Cunningham being out and him just shooting the ball every single time down the court?
That's fair, but again, I don't like.
I'm a firm Sadiq Bey. Dude, like, wasn't it like in his rookie year, he set like 3-point records or some shit?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm a big believer.
And he took a step
Size,
back in 3-point
strength,
percentage.
He's got it all. But I guess if you want him that high.
I mean, I'm looking at
I don't get how you could have players. I don't know. We'll get to it later. All right.
I mean, he took a higher percentage of corner threes this year than a higher percentage of his attempts this year were corner threes.
Didn't he
than
drop
they were.
like 50?
He did.
Yeah. I just think
Which
he had
again,
so much.
I feel like that.
pressure.
I feel like you're putting up that many shots. Not everyone's gonna drop 50, but he was bound to have a good game at some point.
27. I got Tsunami Poppy, Kelly Oubre.
Is that his nickname?
Yeah, Tsunami Poppy. Okay. Kelly Oubre. He has games where you're like, this dude's like crazy good, and then he has games where you're like, stop shooting the ball. If he can take a step this year and like try and fill what Miles did for the Hornets, he's not gonna come close. But if he can like up his point, I don't know. He needs to do something to step up for the Hornets this season. But he's a solid. He's not good defensively. He's solid defensively. Athletic as hell. Can shoot the ball. Good. He's a good player.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's what it says to see if his stuff was catching on the mic.
Yeah.
Okay, what do we have? 26.
Yep.
This is where I have Malik Beasley, so I guess
You're
I'm the highest. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just. I mean, he's a volume scorer at the end of the day. Some teams need that, some teams don't. So it's kind of like. I don't know. It's kind of like Matisse Thybulle and Malik Beasley, kind of opposites, where some teams need offense, some teams need defense. Kind of what you need at the end of the day. Neither are really a game changer, but yeah, 26.
Okay. At 26, I have Joe Harris.
You're the highest on him.
I am the highest on him. I just think a guy shoots that high of a
40%
percentage from three, shoots 46% from
Oh my
three.
God.
No, that's insane.
That's like almost a guarantee.
That's
I
like
don't want to hear this. You were the one who was so low on Seth Curry, who shoots like pretty much like 43.
Yeah, but Seth Curry can't play a look at defense.
no.
Joe
Joe
Harris
Harris is at least serviceable on defense, and he's also at 26.
It's also
I don't have him that high.
Yeah, it's not
I
even
guess.
I'm
That's like bottom third. That's
still bottom
That is
third,
third.
but I'm putting him up that high because if a guy shoots 46% from three,
that's like record breaking.
that's crazy. I mean, you can't devalue that, especially in a league where the 3-point shot is so prevalent. Like that's so valuable.
It's like an automatic bucket.
Yeah.
26 on the highest on this guy. I got Jaden McDaniels. A lot of it is projection here with my placement. I'm at 26 because at his size, the ability to handle the ball, the ability to move the way he does, the ability to shoot, couple that with his defensive potential, I think he could be really good in this league.
Okay. Number 25, I have Kelly Oubre. He's just there to shoot threes, plays a little bit of defense. He's all right.
All right. Number 25, I've got Eric Gordon. Similar.
Damn.
What?
Hi.
I mean, it's
high.
high, but
High,
like,
yeah.
if you look at what he can do offensively, I think he's a little bit better than guys
I
like.
just want to say, we all had Eric Gordon and Joe Harris one after another.
We did?
Different
Really?
spots, in different spots.
That's funny.
That's funny because it shows like
Yeah.
how we value certain types of players.
That shows, yeah, they are the same player.
They are.
I just think Eric Gordon is a little bit better
It's
than
just
Joe
one
Harris.
six, like how old Joe? 6'7", 6'6".
Yeah.
How tall is Joe Harris?
Yeah, 6'6", 6'7".
Yeah, he's around
Yeah,
that. height.
yeah.
Eric Gordon's like 6'4".
Yeah,
Just
but I just think Eric Gordon just has the ability to
create his own show.
Yeah.
create his own shot a little bit more. For me, defensively, they're comparable. Joe Harris is better on catch and shoot threes, but in terms of an all-around player, Eric Gordon's just a little bit better.
I'm not with it. 25 and the highest on this guy. It's a little bit of projection as well. I have Bruce Brown because I saw what he was able to do with KD and Kyrie, and I saw Nikola Jokic is on his team now, so I think he's going to get even better.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not going to be starting, but...
No, but I still think he's going to be very good.
Okay.
For the Nuggets.
24, I have Reggie Bullock. I just think overall, his willingness to shoot the ball is something that a lot of role
He
players
doesn't
don't have.
he does not fear.
At the end of the day, you could say it's Luka, but like he takes a lot of contested shots, even if Luka's not hitting him wide open. And it's just the confidence, the defense that he had
Defense.
on the Knicks, on the Mavericks,
Dude,
just overall.
he actually hit, like, he can create his own shot. Like, he'll get the ball, like, 1-2 dribble pull. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, he can,
I actually think he's probably gonna come off the bench this year, so maybe actually his
Will he?
numbers might go down. I think Dorian Finney-Smith will start.
yeah, they
Hardaway's
both
coming
start.
back.
Yeah, and then Christian Wood.
Hardaway's coming
No,
back.
no, not even that. It's gonna be. They've already released the starting lineup, so it's Luka,
Well, I'm not talking
Dinwiddie.
about the starting lineup. I'm talking about there's
They're
like
starting Dinwiddie?
Yes,
That's interesting.
it's Dinwiddie. Yeah, DFS,
Well, I
Wood,
think
McGee.
Dinwiddie's better shown for the sixth man.
yeah.
Well,
Would you
that's-
rather have a rotation? where
I'd
you
rather
Dinwiddie,
do that,
Reggie
yes.
Bullock.
They'll probably tinker with it a bit.
They'll mess with it.
But-
Anyway, where are we at? 24.
26 or 25. 24, yeah. Shit.
So yeah, I'm fucking
24.
gaslighting. Jesus.
Yeah.
24. I've got Kelly Oubre. Again, just he's so inconsistent, but when he's on,
He's on.
you're like, damn.
He gets a couple good, cool posters every year.
But like he just has all the tools. He has athletic. He's lanky. He can play defense when he actually wants to. That's the problem though. Is from him, I see like, do you
So
actually have a
bad.
desire
Yeah.
to be good, or are you just chilling like, all right, I can be an NBA player
Yeah.
and I can either come off the bench or start. But then again, this is the guy that like wants all this money, so obviously he thinks he's valuable.
Yeah, that is true.
But like, I don't know. I think he's got all the tools, but again, performances just
It
vary
just needs to
so
be consistent.
much.
It needs to be consistent.
Yeah.
24. I'm actually kind of low on this guy. Looking back on my list, I probably should have put him a bit higher, but I got Cam Johnson. It's just because in the next 5, I feel like all these players are very comparable in terms of what they bring to the table, and I just put Cam Johnson the lowest.
Yeah.
That's who it was.
Oh, you're missing Cam
Yeah.
Johnson.
That's who it was. My fucking namesake. Fucking missing.
Okay,
Cam.
we'll just say, well, yeah, Cam Johnson. Put that on your, put
Yeah,
him on your list
I'll,
somewhere.
I'll put him somewhere.
But yeah, Cam Johnson, 24.
Okay. 23 of Harrison Barnes. It seems really low, like the 23rd best small forward, but at the end of the day, he doesn't bring too much defense. He's good efficient, but he's not like really efficient. So overall, playing for the Kings, I'm always gonna kinda underrate you because I don't know. I just Kings players, it depresses me sometimes. Like as soon as Halliburton got traded, I'm like, okay, I don't really like any of these players.
Yeah.
I think I like Keegan Murray, but outside of him,
I feel like you just hate Fox, but yeah.
I don't hate Fox. I'm not. I don't know.
He hates Fox.
I'm not waking up excited to watch Fox unless it was like right now. Like if it's the regular season,
Okay, no, but that's
What
hate.
the
That's
fuck,
hate.
the fuck does that mean?
That's hate.
it means like I'm not gonna watch the Kings during the regular season. But if somehow I could get like a sneak peek of a game that was a Kings game, I'd watch it. But like
Corby,
I'm not watching it.
What does that mean? What do you mean a sneak peek of
It
a
means
Kings
that
game?
if there was
If there was
If
no
there's no
NBA,
NBA, he'd
If
watch
there's
the
no
Kings.
NBA, watch.
how is it that that's hating?
That's hating, yes.
So
They
you're
got like
telling me
2 borderline all-stars.
that doesn't mean you want to watch him. You want to watch Sabonis? I'm sorry, I respect Sabonis. I think Sabonis is a good player. He's a really good player. But like, I don't care to watch him. I don't
I
care
feel
to
like
watch.
Fox is fun to watch.
Fox is fun to watch.
When he gets in transition, he's fun to watch, and he's gonna get in transition at least, 3 or 4 times a game where he's on the fast break.
Maybe, but Harrison Barnes is not one of the reasons. So let's continue.
Fair enough. 23
Yeah.
got DeAndre Hunter. I think I'm the lowest on this guy.
You never know. He still has 23 left. You know what? Let's hear it. Let's hear it, man.
I don't know. He does not impress me.
He's got to be healthy, bro.
I know you're really high on him. Like, you know, I know you think he has the potential to be really good, but not healthy. And like,
Well, are we counting
overall,
injuries?
I feel like injuries.
I'm looking
dictate
at the
how
player
much
as a
you-
whole. I mean,
Yeah.
like, you know,
I feel like injuries are a part you have to consider, but like
I don't know if you're not if you're not on the court,
So
then you're not. I mean, the best ability is available.
No, the reason why I didn't say injuries because of his ability. I said he can't get better, like what you said in the offseason.
Oh, okay,
he can't get
that's
better.
fair.
He's always hurt.
that's fair.
Yeah,
just
I mean
stuff where
that's
he's
true too. Like,
His injuries have stunted his growth as a player. If he can stay healthy and become a better player, he can obviously like the moon's the limit.
I mean, yeah, he's got 6'8", 225. So physically, he's got all the tools.
He's got all the tools.
I mean,
I
I
the
just
moon's the why the moon?
because the moon's higher than the sky.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it
higher than
caught me off guard?
Wait, is it like because there's no direction in space? So is it higher than the sky?
We're not turning into a conspiracy
Shut the fuck
podcast.
up. Shut the fuck up.
Is the moon real? I mean,
I guess.
I'm not gonna say too much right now to rebuttal that, but if you list some players that I think are clearly worse than Hunter, then I'm gonna talk about Hunter. But
clearly, well, in your opinion, they're clearly worse. In
No.
my opinion, they're clearly better.
Okay.
okay,
I mean, like,
let's see.
At 23, I'm highest on this guy, Reggie Bullock. It's kind of similar to our shooting guard list where I had KCP so high, 3 and D.
Mm-hmm.
So I value that.
Yeah, it's high value. Let's see. We're at 22.
Mm-hmm.
Cam Johnson, man, a guy who could have been a Hawk, but I actually don't know where those rumors came from. They were rumors.
He
but...
was going off for a period in the season. I think it was when Booker was out or CP3 was out.
Oh no, yeah, and he had like a game.
He had a
winner,
game
I'm
winner.
pretty sure.
Yeah. He was going off.
It's at the end, like it's something about him where like he's such, like his prototype or his archetype is kind of the same as a Joe Harris, just like taller. But for some reason, he looks so much better when you watch him.
Yeah.
He can overall create his shot more,
Mhm.
better defender. Just overall, just a really good role player you want on your team.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 22. I know I've got to be the lowest on this guy. I've got Dylan Brooks. I mean,
Ooh.
I just
You're low on a lot of people on this list.
I am,
It's
which
interesting
means I'm
to
gonna
see
be
who you
high.
have
I'm gonna
higher,
be
yeah.
high on some people,
Yeah.
but like looking at Dylan Brooks, statistically not bad, but watching the way he plays,
It's the eye test. for
it's
you.
it's really the eye test. Like I watch the way he plays, and I would not want him on my team
That's
because
fair.
he just
That is
shot
fair.
chucks.
That is fair.
He just shoots. He catches the ball and he shoots. There's no thought process. There's no sort of consideration. As soon as he catches the ball, it's gone. Like he just shoots.
I also will say I personally am taking Brooks' defense over Dybul's.
Yeah. Oh,
Ooh, over Thibault.
I would, yes.
that's absurd.
The only thing about Brooks is that as good of a
He'd be
defender he
awful.
is, he overplays sometimes.
He gets way
He
too.
does
he gets
overplay.
too
Way
aggressive,
too
and that
aggressive.
really hurts him off ball because he gets beat on backdoor cuts and stuff like that. So overall, as a defender, I just don't think he's better than Thibault.
I mean, Dybul does that too, though. He does overplay.
I think it's Thibault overplays, but his
But
style of defense, literally, he plays defense from behind. So it's like
Yeah.
if he gets beat, he's there.
Like, you know, that's how guys like Kawhi play defense too, is the way they try to position their body. Like, if a guy's going to the basket, right, and you're trying to position your body to get a block, you don't want to come into their body.
Yeah, you gotta go.
You want to
back.
go behind them so that you can
Yeah.
avoid their body and get your hand on the ball, right? So the way Thibault plays defense, he's figured out how to do that, where he can get beat, but he can still be in good defensive position.
Yeah.
I guess. I've seen him overplay and it doesn't work out, but I mean, maybe I don't watch him enough. I don't know.
At 21, I'm not 20, 22, right?
22, yeah.
20
Thibault at 22. Defense,
Wow.
defense.
I guess. Okay, 21. I have Bojan Bogdanovic. That was probably the highest.
Oh wow, yeah.
I just
I
think.
don't think Cam said him actually.
No, I haven't said him yet.
Wow.
I mean, when you just look at, and I know like the small forward position, you're not primarily creating your shot for the most part, but like he's out of all the players I've said so far, he's the best at creating his own shot. Just overall has been a clutch player over the last couple of years. Just a good scorer, and he's the best scorer that we've had on the list so far.
So I also have Bojan at 21. A lot of the same reasons you said. I think he's a dependable scorer. You need a guy to go get a bucket. He's not a bad option. defensively, he's a bit of a liability, but not as much as some other guys like Eric Gordon or Joe Harris, or Malik Beasley. So I think that's why I've got him higher. You know.
21, Harrison Barnes. He's solid.
Yeah, that is just kind of the word
It's
to
just-
use. He's just solid.
He's a good, like, I
He's
feel like,
kind of
like,
decent at everything.
he's solid. He gets paid what he deserves. He's solid.
Yeah. Okay. Number 20. No. Yeah, number 20. I have Sadiq Bey. Just overall, I see the defensive potential that he could show next season. I see, obviously the 3-point shooting is there. He does kind of need to. I think with more reps with Cade Cunningham, he's going to get a secondary playmaker with Jaden Ivey. Granted, he's a rookie, but I think he's going to get some easier shots in the lane. Overall, if he can just improve like his mid range too, he could be a 3-level scorer higher, just way higher on this list. But so far, yeah, I have him at 20.
Yeah.
Okay. At 20, I have Dorian Finney-Smith, another guy who I think does look a little bit better because he plays with Luka. But overall, I think he's a really solid player. I think he's a solid starter. Defends well, can shoot the ball. A little inconsistent at times. That's the one problem I have with him is that there are times when he'll go through cold stretches, like any shooter does. But honestly, in the playoffs, that hurt them at times, not having him hitting shots.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not the greatest 3-point shooter, but he's going to do it sometimes.
Yeah.
At 20, I believe I'm also the lowest on this guy. I have Gordon Hayward at 20. I do think Gordon Hayward's a good player, very exceptional, he's good. What more can I say?
But
the reason why I have him at 20, and I'll say this because I watched a lot of Hornets games last season. The reason he is at 20 is because sometimes he will get the ball and it's his mind that I'm shooting a mid range. It doesn't matter what he's doing. He's driving and he's shooting. It's like bro, like come on. And just also inconsistency. That's the reason I have him at 20. He doesn't value much on defense, and if his shot's not falling, it's like what does he value to the team? That's the reason I have him that low.
Okay. And number 19, I have Dorian Finney-Smith. Pretty much exactly what you said. I don't have to say anymore.
Okay. 19, I have Matisse Thybulle. Am I the highest on him?
Yes.
Yeah. So I just really value his defense. I think he's a guy you can close a game with.
I'm not mad at it.
I think he's valuable. In terms of guys that you want in the game on the last possession, I think he's up there because overall, I think his off-ball defense and his ability to create and to disrupt what the other team is doing is really valuable. And I don't know. I can overlook some of the offensive liabilities because you're not really expecting him to do anything offensively.
It's not his role.
His role is to be a defender, and even if he doesn't start, I think he closes games, and to me, that's more valuable.
So, you're building a team.
Right.
You have a playmaker at the point guard position, a rim protector at the center position.
Right.
You have a scorer in the shooting guard position, all-around player in the power forward position. You'd rather have Matisse Thybulle than Dorian Finney-Smith.
Why'd you build this very specific team?
Because at the end of the
doesn't
day,
work for Matisse Thybulle.
well, I actually didn't even say a perimeter defender. So I guess he could be the perimeter defender that the team needs. I just said a playmaker, a scorer, an interior defender, and an all-around power forward.
I guess.
You'd rather just think about it as a fantasy draft. You're taking Thybulle
As
for
a
1 year.
fantasy?
For 1 year. For 1 year. You're taking a player for a team.
Okay.
Okay, let's make it. I guess I have to get so specific. You'd rather have Thybulle on your team than Dorian Finney-Smith.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we'll move on.
It's okay. I guess. It's okay. I guess.
Have you said it?
Who?
DFS. Okay.
19. I have DeAndre Hunter at 19.
That's actually a lot
What?
higher than I expected. I'm not gonna lie.
It's just
I thought you were gonna hate.
no, because I actually have seen Hunter, and I'm like, dude, this guy has potential. He can score, he can shoot, he can make his own shot, he can clamp up the other team's best player. He just needs to, he's. I feel like since his rookie year,
You're not in frame when you do that.
It's just been
it's
moving
like
in and out of
my
frame.
head not in there. Since his rookie year, I feel like he's for the most part been the same player. He just has to improve. That's the one thing with Hunter.
Okay.
Yeah, potential to me doesn't mean anything if a player's not getting better.
Yeah.
I just realized
What?
you have Thybulle
Over Hunter. Yeah.
so insane. Okay, we'll continue. I'm gonna get on my rant when I get to him. At number 18, I have Dylan Brooks. Just overall, I mean, he has so much hustle, so much energy, and he can shoot the three. He takes bad shots, but at the end of the day, he can shoot the three.
Got that dog.
He has a little bit of secondary not playmaking, but he can create a shot as a secondary, especially when the playoffs happened. He still put up 20. It's kind of hard to do that against the Warriors defense.
Yeah.
Great defense. Just overall though, he does need to be more consistent and smart.
He was bound to put up 20 at some point with how much he was shooting. But at 18, I've got Cam Johnson. I think I'm the highest on him.
Damn.
I mean,
22. Wow.
I don't know. I feel like I watch him, and aside from getting dropped by Luka, every time I've watched him, he's been a positive contributor.
I mean, I guess, but he's had like the least offensive pressure of the last a lot of guys besides Thibault, I guess, than you said. I don't know.
I mean, that's true, but like what he does in his role is really valuable.
That's fair.
He's really good at what he does, and you're not expecting him to do more necessarily.
Yeah, I would just, me personally, to put him that high, I'd want to see him in his starting role and do what he's doing. But I don't know.
That's fair. I mean, I can understand why you'd say that.
Yeah. Okay.
At 18, I have Franz Wagner. He's a good player. It's just last season the thing with Franz Wagner was like I don't think anybody expected him to be as good as he was. He was like, significantly better than he was. It's just that I feel like the other players I have over him are more proven in the league, and that's the reason why I took them over Franz Wagner.
That's fair, but also I'm double checking this because I could be wrong. It's Wagner, right?
It's Wagner. Oh yeah, it's German. You're right.
It is Wagner. Yeah, I was like, that sounded so wrong
like
when you were saying it.
Franz Wagner. No, it's Wagner. Yeah, it's Wagner. All right.
Okay. So you said a guy at 17.
Yeah.
I'm actually really surprised that I'm the lowest on this guy because I thought I was going to be the highest. Josh Hart. Josh Hart, just overall, I mean, he didn't even really look that good besides his rebounding in New Orleans. But when he went to Portland, he was shooting 37. I could even be higher, but it was like 37% from three. When that's all his game was looking for. I mean, he's a good defender. He can score inside. Obviously gets those rebounds. He was actually playmaking at a crazy level too.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a little bit undersized, but that actually hasn't affected
I think he's
him
gonna
at
do.
all.
No, he's a good rebounder.
Yeah.
For his height. I think him next to Dame next season. A lineup of Dame. You put Gary Payton at the 2, and you put Hart at the 3.
You think
And
Ant's
then
gonna
Jeremy
come off the
Grant at the
bench?
4.
I think Ant's gonna come off the bench.
Jeremy Grant at the 4.
Yeah, Jimmy Grant at the 4.
And then Nurkic. At
I
the
think
five.
that's not a
pretty
bad.
nice.
That's not a bad defensive
not
lineup.
bad.
That's not a bad defensive lineup at all. Except just Dame, but
All right, 17. I've got Harrison Barnes.
you're the highest on him.
I am, yeah.
He's a prototypical three
He's just a
guard.
he's like pretty much dead middle of my list.
Yeah.
Like he's just does anything you could
That's what
ask
you
him
want.
to do. Nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah.
Okay.
17. I got Josh Hart as well. Same reasons Corby said.
Okay. Number 16, I have Gordon Hayward. Just all around. I still believe that next year he can kind of bounce back. I mean, he's had to deal with a lot of injuries. But overall, he's just kind of a scorer, decent defender. Just, I feel like the people over him they can kind of be stars, and they just bring more to the game.
All right, 16. I've got Keldon Johnson. You said Keldon Johnson. Right?
No, that's
you
low.
didn't?
That's low in my opinion. I haven't.
All
no.
right. I don't know. I definitely think he's better than Harrison Barnes.
See,
I
clearly,
think that's all I could say.
They'll have him as the most improved candidate. That's he must be like the favorite for that award.
Keldon
This year.
Johnson.
Yeah, this upcoming year. I mean,
I don't know. I just think he does a lot of things good, and there's definitely potential. But I just hate gauging guys off of potential. I prefer to gauge guys off of what they've already done in the league. And in terms of what he's already done in the league, I can't really put him above the other guys I have on my list.
yeah, that's fair. What did he average?
He averaged like
I
13.
think he shot 40 from 3.
He did not average 13.
No way, Cam.
He averaged 17.
Yeah,
You're crazy.
He averaged 17 on 40 from the 3.
Crazy.
Put some respect on his name.
39.8.
Shut the fuck up. Kentucky legend Keldon Johnson. My go. 16. I am the highest on this guy by a country mile. I got Sadiq Bey. He's strong. He's strong as fuck for his size. Swole biceps.
I have not looked at his body personally.
No, he's got strength. He's got size. He's got length. He has defense. He can shoot. What more do you want?
That's fair.
Okay.
Okay, 15.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the lowest on this guy. Michael Porter Jr. at number 15. Just overall, the last 2 times we've seen him, I mean, it didn't look that good. I mean, against the Phoenix Suns, he didn't have the greatest performance, and then in the first 9 games of last season, it was a shooting slump, and you can get over it.
It's 9 games.
but at the same time, he's not bringing any playmaking. He's not bringing any defense, and those are two things that you. I mean, if you don't have defense, you might as well bring a little bit of playmaking if you're getting to the top 15. He can't really do that, or not even playmaking. I guess shot creation. He doesn't.
I
really
will
create.
say, if I'm not gonna lie, I look at this list, and MPJ is legitimately like, if he's on, I could like he could he's like a top 5 like
Yeah.
scorer on the list.
5, not 5.
Top 5 scorer if he's on.
Yeah.
If he's on, he's a top 5 scorer on this list.
The guy that was shooting
I'd say
50%
7.
from the field and
I'd say
50% from 3.
I mean, I guess.
He just needs to stop.
15's a little
Yeah,
low.
it is a little.
For me at number 15, I've got Josh Hart. I mean, really just echoing a lot of the same things you said. I'm not going to sit here and just repeat what you said. I think you're right with a lot of what you said, and I guess I just value that a little bit more.
Yeah, normally people lowest are gonna critique him, but like I actually thought I'd be the highest on that, but I guess not.
15, I have Dylan Brooks. He's solid. He's a good defender. He can shoot. Josh selection is bad, but that can improve.
Okay, number 14, I have DeAndre Hunter, and it could seem a little bit high. I personally, you're right. It doesn't seem that high at all, to be honest.
You're telling me DeAndre Hunter is a better player than Michael Porter Jr.
Next season he will be, yes. And I'm just gonna be completely honest.
You're telling me DeAndre Hunter is better than Dylan Brooks?
Yeah, he's more consistent on offense, defense. Here's the thing. People, and I've seen people slander Hunter for his defense because in the Miami Heat series, Jimmy Butler was obviously going off on the Atlanta Hawks.
Right.
And I don't blame you if you didn't watch the series. It wasn't a fun series, but you have to understand that every single possession, Hunter would be guarding Jimmy Butler, and they just run a screen, and then their whole purpose was to get Trae Young on Jimmy Butler.
Right.
That's it. It wasn't the fact that Hunter wasn't guarding him, because he obviously tried, but at the end of the day, that's what the NBA individual defense is a little bit overrated in my opinion. You still need some, but like if there's a single hole in the defense, the offense is going to find it and abuse it. So in my opinion, but yeah, just overall, I mean Hunter averaged 21 in the last playoff series. Granted, it is a 5-game.
It's a microcosm of his overall performance, but it's still impressive.
Yeah. So I mean, he shot. I think it was like 45% from 3 in that series. Just overall, I think he's one of the top defenders in the league. Now, would I say? I'd say he's top 10, a top 10 defender, and that's right now him. He had to guard. I'm pretty sure he was in the 100th percentile of he had to guard the best player every single night. It was Darius Garland, who's not good at guarding guards. He has to guard the best defender or the best offensive player. And now that DeJounte's there, he's going to have less responsibility. He just has to stay healthy. This is his first offseason where he was actually completely healthy. And yeah, that's why I have Hunter that high. Side note, Hawks go to the finals if he's healthy.
I'm old enough to remember Corby blacking out his Twitter profile because of DeAndre Hunter playing that bad. And you're like, I am officially no longer a DeAndre Hunter stan.
I was kidding, bro. Yeah.
Corby, I don't like that. Like a lot of what you're basing your ranking on is him
the
improving in
idea
the
of
offseason.
player.
Like what he can be as opposed to what he is.
Potential should be factored, but
So what is he?
What is he?
he's in
a 3-and-D.
he's in the 18 to 25 range.
Yeah, he's somewhere like he's like bottom half.
He's
Right
middle.
now.
He's middle.
I think
Technically bottom half is where he is, but like yeah, he's somewhere in the middle.
when he's healthy, he's a 39% three-point shooter.
If
He can create his own shot. He can be inconsistent creating his own shot. He does turn over the ball a little bit. But just overall, I think his defense just easily puts him up here because
Over
it's just-
MPJ is just crazy to me, though.
I mean, from what we've seen MPJ do too, like
I don't know.
Well, what have we seen him do? Shoot. What did he shoot from 3?
50-50.
yeah,
Do you not remember
He
that?
shoot 50%
Yes,
from
he
3.
did.
Playoffs.
Oh, in the playoffs, maybe. I don't know. I'm talking about the regular season. I mean, I guess. I just think I value. I'm not saying you don't have to be this extremely elite defender, but you have to be a decent defender at the small forward position. Michael Porter Jr. is not that. He's a little bit more stiff. You know, he doesn't move quickly laterally, and he can be targeted by the offense. You don't want to be that guy at the small forward position to be targeted, in my opinion.
okay,
So I mean, okay, that's all I'm going to say. I already went on a huge rant, but
all right.
whatever.
14, I've got Franz Wagner. I just think, from what he did last year, he looked really good at times. and he made me want to watch Magic games because I wanted to see him play. And granted, I still didn't watch a lot of Magic games because it's the Magic, and I'm not gonna watch, that. But overall, I think he might have been one of the more NBA ready players out of this most recent draft. And that was pretty surprising, but just his composure and the way he looked
like
on
a
the court,
vet, bro.
He looked like a vet. Now, my only question is, does he get better now?
Yeah.
Like, how much more can his skill set actually improve? Or is this kind of just what he's going to be? In which case,
That's fine.
I think he's still good, but like, as a guy that did that in his rookie year, you're obviously, the question is, where do you go now?
With Paulo next to him too, it's gonna be
Mhm.
interesting to see.
It'll be interesting.
I don't think he takes as big of a jump because Paulo's next to him. And
I think
Paulo's
people
gonna be taking more
overreact because of
touches,
it,
but
but
like,
I think it's still gonna be in this league for a long time.
mhm.
All right. No, in these next, I can't say. Okay, 2 out of these next 3, I believe, are the most underrated players in the entire NBA, and I don't think it's close by a stretch my imagination at all. They're the most underrated players in the league. It's not close. The person who I have at 14 is was probably actually the most. He's the second most, and the person I have at number 12 is the most underrated player in the league without question. At number 14, I have Dorian Finney-Smith. Dorian Finney-Smith. You guys understand what Dorian Finney-Smith can do on the basketball.
He sits in the corner.
I'm not even talking about that. Dude, like, oh my god.
What?
Okay.
What are you talking about?
No. I just don't think you guys, like, understand, like, how important players Dorian Finney-Smith are to winning basketball games. He can guard legitimately 1 through 4. I'm not going to say 5 because that's kind of a stretch. He can guard 1 through 4. He can switch on to anything. He can grab rebounds over anybody. He can shoot the ball at a 40% rate. If you hit it, it's an automatic 3. He can drive. He can dunk. He's athletic. He does everything you need a player to do. And in today's NBA, that is what you need from a small forward. You don't need a guy who's just going to go out there and score. You need a guy who plays defense, the guy who can switch 1 through 4, and a guy who can shoot the 3 at an elite level. And Dorian Finney-Smith is that. It's the same reason I had KCP so high on our shooting guards list. I just value players that can do that because they contribute so much to winning.
But don't you think a top 15 small forward should be able to create their own shot? Should be like a second to third best player on a championship team?
Not necessarily.
I mean, you don't see Michael Porter Jr. as that?
I haven't said on PJ yet.
Oh, you haven't?
Yeah.
Yeah, who have you cited? I mean, I guess. I don't know. Okay,
Dylan
I
Brooks?
guess. We'll move on. Number 13, Franz Wagner. Exactly what you said, Cam. Yeah, he's just really good, solid. Can he? I think he can improve. I just think now that Banchero's there, I think Banchero will benefit a lot of players on the Orlando Magic, and Wagner will not be one of them, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Because I think Wagner benefited from having the ball in his hands more than he would have on another team.
yeah.
And now with Paulo being there, he's just going to take away touches. It's just how it's going to work out. He's the number 1 overall pick. It'll be interesting to see what happens this year. But anyway, at 13, I'm the highest on this guy. I've got Gordon Hayward.
What the fuck?
I mean-
Cam, is it 2017?
It was only 3 after mine, but
I mean, it's not.
Yeah, but Jesus Christ.
I just
Okay.
think you have to be a good defender at this very this spot right here. You have to be a good defender. Actually, there's one exception. There's one single exception in the rest of this list. That's my opinion.
I mean, I think you have to be a solid defender. But like, I don't know. I just look at Gordon Hayward, and I think that he's still, in terms of his efficiency offensively, he can't take over the game in the same way that he did, pre-injury. But he's still a solid third option on a good team.
On a good team,
Yeah.
I mean, I see the rest of this list right now. I see a solid third option on playoff teams, on good playoff teams, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think he can be that.
He could.
You think he could?
Yeah.
Could. It's efficiency.
You're telling me you don't if you
inconsistent.
put him on the Mavericks right now.
Nah.
But Hayward doesn't really fit the Mavericks because the whole Maverick system is the team defense kind of thing. Hayward could never even buy into that.
You couldn't. Hayward's not a good defender.
Okay.
But I mean, that's your opinion. So I mean,
No, that's fair. That was a bad team to pick, but just offensively speaking.
I guess.
but it's like,
You know
I
what?
don't know.
I don't hate it. Whatever. It was only 3 after mine, so it's
Yeah.
I guess Mateen had him.
I
Mateen had him
I
really
had
low.
Gordon Hayward at 20.
Honestly, I feel like sometimes you are the rare person who will actually hate players more because they play on teams that you watch and teams that you
Except the Lakers. It's yeah.
No. He hates you hate Russ.
I don't hate him. I think he had a
legitimately.
bad year, and I'm hoping he improves.
But he wasn't the lowest on Russ. I was the lowest.
No,
on
you
him.
were the lowest Russ, but
I
like
don't hate Russ, but there's certain players that I watch, like, but on teams that I watch, and because of what they do, I do sometimes rank them lower than probably they should be ranked.
Yeah.
That is true. At what number are we? 13?
13.
I'm lowest on this guy. It's a bit weird because I actually really like this guy, like how he plays. I have RJ Barrett at 13, and he's probably one of my more favorite players on this list. I love the way RJ Barrett plays. I just need him to be a little bit more efficient, man. If he gets that little bit more efficient, then it's like, boom, there you go, RJ.
I mean,
got
you
it.
saw flashes of it this year.
Dude, RJ's is it crazy to say RJ Barrett is the best player on the Knicks?
I don't think
I
that's
personally
crazy
think
to
RJ Barrett's
say.
the
I
best
don't
player
think
on the
that's
Knicks.
crazy to say.
It might be crazy. You have RJ under MPJ?
Hey, man.
What? That's crazy. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm high on MPJ.
That's not. I mean, I've got him. We're where I've got him placed. That's not crazy.
Okay.
I have him similar. I'll say that.
Okay. So at number 12, OG Anunoby. I mean, he's a really, really solid defender. Can shoot the three really well. Can actually create a shot a little bit more than I thought. Just watching him last season. But I still think. I mean, have you guys said OG Anunoby?
No.
I have not.
I think him and Hunter are on the same tier. I could be crazy, but they're the same player. Like they actually are the same
But-
player.
Hunter hasn't performed to the same level as OG.
I don't remember. Okay, I don't want to over exaggerate one series, but has OG ever had a amazing offensive playoff series like Hunter just had?
Okay, Corby, you gonna take 5 to 7 games as a representation of how good a player is, or are you gonna take all of the other?
I think
games
being able to
into
take
account?
over a playoff series is actually something.
Where
He
you
averaged
they
17
lost
last
4
year.
to 1. How is that taking over a playoff series?
I mean,
Still
he
lost.
but he
like-
was. I mean, he was the best player on that team.
Yeah,
I mean-
and that says a lot about the state of the Hawks in that series. When DeAndre Hunter is the best player on your team in a playoff series, you're gonna lose the playoff series.
I don't see too much of a difference. I still have OG higher. I like don't. Well, like,
I think one is severely better on offense.
Mm-hmm.
I think one is severely better on offense. You can say defensively they're similar. I'm one severely better on offense.
I guess. Okay, let's just move on.
Okay. At number 12, I have MPJ. Defensively, not great. Offensively, he's top 10 on this list easily. Even borderline top 5.
I just
It's
wish
tough to
I
put-
just wish he could stay healthy.
I just wish he could stay healthy. I feel like he has so much potential, especially next to Jokic. He has so much potential.
I could see him legitimately averaging 28 points per game next to Jokic.
I feel like
28.
28. I could see him like if he stays there and stays
Low-
there for a couple of years. In a couple of years,
Loki,
he could
I
average
feel
28.
like he's a potential most improved player candidate this year.
That's not crazy to say.
I don't think that's crazy to
though.
say.
Nope, that's not crazy to say.
Has anyone ever won most improved
After
player?
being injured, I don't know if they can win it after being injured though.
I guess. Wait, did Paul George? No, Paul George did it before he got injured.
Yeah.
Paul George never won it. Yeah, he won it. Did Paul George win it? Yeah, he did.
Like
Yeah, yeah.
2014.
He won it before he got hurt.
right? Yeah.
At number 12, I have the most underrated player in the NBA, Keldon Johnson. I think people don't acknowledge what he does on the basketball court because he played for a shitty ass Spurs team. 17 a game, 40 from 3. Y'all are going to be put on next season to Keldon Johnson. Just letting you guys know now.
You're really gonna put me on, even though you're not even the highest on it. At
No.
number 11, I have Keldon Johnson.
It's the same. It's like one
It's
number
not.
different.
I'll argue 11,
One
12.
number
Who do you have at 12? Oh wait, no, that was your 12. Who do you have at 13?
13, RJ Barrett.
Oh no, 11. Sorry, 11. Actually, wait, you're not gonna say
Come on,
that.
spoil-
Whatever. I'm gonna
Jesus
say.
Christ.
Listen. Keldon Johnson next season, and I'm not even gonna say that putting up high stats is going to makes you a better player because he will be playing for a tanking Spurs. But at the end of the day, like. They actually made the play-in tournament with him being the second best player. That was actually really impressive.
No, he went from a non-shooter to shooting 40% from 3.
Mhm.
It's just like what you
40%
said.
from 3.
It's like, yeah, you can
Overall,
literally-
just solid defense.
making everything.
Just I don't know. He just
He is
seems like a
he is a bit undersized. He's 6'6".
Is he?
Yeah. He's a bit. I think he is.
for small. I mean, he's taller than Josh Hart. So I mean, I don't know. Josh
Yeah,
Hart's also
that is
undersized.
true,
but-
yeah.
Okay, that's my 11 though. I don't really have many.
I don't think size matters as much in the NBA anymore.
I think it does.
I just don't think because it depends on how you build your team around that size.
I think if you're below 6'2", it matters. But if you're undersized, but like you're like 6'6", it doesn't matter that
Like,
much.
there's a reason PJ Tucker just got the biggest contract of his career at 37 years old.
That is true.
In spite of the fact that he's 6'4" and he plays power forward.
That is
Because, in spite of his height, he's still an extremely valuable player.
Yeah.
Anyway, at 11, I've got RJ Barrett. A lot of the same things you said. I think he has a good offensive game, and he has the potential to have a great offensive game. Like, there's definitely shades of guys like DeRozan. I don't want to say Kobe because I don't want to put him on that tier yet. But in terms of what he can do with his back to the basket and athleticism,
He's got to get a
finishing,
right hand too.
he's got to get a right hand. So I think a lot of his future hinges on how much he can develop as the primary option. Because
Still is so
to this
young,
point,
too.
he hasn't been the first option. It's been Julius Randle. I think this year, I think it's going to shift. I think you're going to see RJ Barrett be the first option. I think you're going to get a really good look
RJ
at what
Barrett is
RJ
only
Barrett can
22 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Obi
Yeah,
Toppin
he'll be at that point.
Obi Toppin is on the same team as 24.
Yeah.
And RJ Barrett's been in the league for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. At 11, I have MPJ. Just offensive juggernaut. Hopefully he can stay all day.
Okay. Number 10, RJ Barrett. Everything you said, I think he has star potential for sure. He's young, and yeah.
Number 10, I've got OG Anunoby. A lot of the same things that have already been said. Really solid defender, really solid on offense. Basically everything you could ask for out of a small forward, not being an all-star caliber player.
Okay.
10, I got OG Anunoby as well.
Okay. Number 9, I have Andrew Wiggins. Cause you could potentially put him 1 or 2 higher, but overall, he really stepped up on defense. He really stepped up, just playing a role. The Warriors just brings out the best in people, and yeah, he's number 9.
Number 9, I've got Mikal Bridges, second best defender on this list, and I mean I've heard arguments that he's would be the best
He's
defender
number
at the small
two.
forward
He's
position, but he's number 2. Let's be real here.
It's number 2.
Overall, I was really impressed with him this year. I felt like he was really consistent. Defensively, he is locked down. I mean,
He had a... Thing is, you can say he's locked down because he is locked down. Actually, yeah, he's a lockdown.
What was
No,
that?
I was gonna like use Luca as an example, but no one can stop Luca.
no one can stop.
Yeah.
Luka is one of those.
I was like, Luca made him look like a fool.
Paul George and Kawhi couldn't stop Luka.
Dude, yeah.
I guess those pickers.
The weird thing about Luka is like the way he plays. He's almost
Dude,
a
I saw
mismatch
Luca
for everybody.
hunting Giannis last season in the pick and roll. He would hunt Giannis.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, you're insane.
He was hunting LeBron too.
Dude, no,
Like,
Luca doesn't care.
he just doesn't care.
He's my goat.
He's one of those odd players that I feel like he's a mismatch for everybody.
No
He's
one can
too
guard
big
him.
for guards,
No
and
one
he's
can guard
too
him.
quick for like big forwards.
That's true.
But in terms of what Bridges can do, he was locking up Steph in some of those games.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was like I think the first Suns game of the year, or maybe the second one. It was whichever one they
Prototypical
lost.
3 guard.
Yeah,
What every team needs.
he is probably like out of players that fit that 3-and-D category.
He's up there.
He's probably
He's
the
probably the
best
best one.
3-and-D player that fits into
I'm
that
not mad at that.
category.
I got Mikal at 9 for the same reason.
Okay. Number 8, I'm Mikal. Just I guess a little bit higher than you guys, but overall it's the same thing.
Yeah. 8, I've got Wiggins. As a Warriors fan watching him a lot this year, I was very impressed by, like, obviously defensively he was better. Offensively he was more efficient. He shot better from 3. The thing that impressed me most though is he had a shift in his mentality this season. Mentally, he just wanted the ball in his hands more, and he was more willing to be aggressive in late game scenarios. And I feel like, that's something that they really tried to get him to do. But
Am I crazy to say he's the most athletic player on this list?
raw
Raw athleticism.
over Kelly Oubre?
Yeah.
I think he's way over Kelly Oubre.
Maybe.
No, I think he is.
I think he is.
Yeah, but I don't think it's crazy to say that he was. I mean, it seems obvious to me that he was the second best player on the Warriors during their playoff run.
Not crazy to say.
Okay.
Me and Kim have had the exact same top 10 so far. I have Wiggins at 8.
Okay. Also, what was really impressive about Wiggins is his ability to get rebounds was pretty crazy.
Oh yeah, as a rebounder
Dude, his
too.
defense was crazy.
Just overall everything.
Just
Yeah.
overall.
Tatum was locked, bro.
Yeah,
Starting at number 7, I want. This is where if you have someone one spot away from each other, I'm gonna argue. I'm actually gonna argue it. Before I wasn't really doing that.
Okay.
Number 7, clearly not even close. It's DeMar DeRozan. I mean, he had a really good season last season. I just don't expect him to keep up how absurd he was hitting game winners. Can't play defense though. That's the thing. And out of the top 15 of my players, besides MPJ,
There's another guy here who can't play defense either.
not can't. It's just didn't.
Can't play defense.
DeMar DeRozan though, just overall amazing scorer. He's not doing too much. On the Spurs, he was a good playmaker. I didn't really see too much of that. I could say I need any good playmakers when you have Caruso and Ayo and Lonzo and just so many good guards. But yeah, DeMar DeRozan.
All right. Number 7, I've got Chris Middleton. And I will argue you on the DeMar DeRozan thing because I've got DeRozan one spot higher, and there's a reason for
Dude,
that.
no, can we have the same list?
We might have
We might get Matt. We can have the same top 10.
like
That would not have the same top 4.
Middleton to me is, definitely a better 3-point shooter than DeMar.
Chris Middleton is a coach's dream.
He is a coach's dream.
Defense,
he's
scoring.
he's
Got it.
exactly what you want him to do. Why is it that every time in the playoffs he disappears for like 50% of the games?
I mean, DeRozan does.
Like DeRozan does.
Yeah,
too,
you
but,
can
like,
say that with DeRozan.
if you watch what they did in the regular season too, you're gonna tell me Middleton was more valuable than DeRozan.
No, not at all.
DeRozan averaged like what 28,
He was
27.
MVP for a while, bro.
He was an MVP candidate. For you to put him below Middleton, who is like borderline all-star.
People said he shouldn't have even made the All-Star game.
When you get into the top 7 of this list, I don't want to hear regular season. I don't care.
Listen.
I don't care.
No. There is a gap between the top 6 and number 7, and that gap exists between DeMar DeRozan and Chris Middleton.
What?
I feel like you're hating on DeRozan a lot just because you can't have postseason.
I'm not hating. They're the same. I'm saying they're the same tier. You're hating on Middleton, saying
I'm not
they're
hating on
different
Middleton.
tiers.
People were saying that Middleton shouldn't have been an all-star this year. And I think that's fair to say.
He did
Was
have.
he an all-star? No, he wasn't.
He was an All-Star. Chris Middleton was an All-Star. Everyone was mad about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
He
But
did.
I
Chris
think
Middleton did not have the We've seen better Chris Middleton years.
Chris Middleton has
What
reached the
years
point in his career where he has name recognition, and that's carrying people's opinions of him a little bit. Because
He's an awesome player.
he's an awesome player.
Literally
He's,
top 7.
he's literally exactly what every coach wants at the 3, right?
He's a great player.
But in terms of as a player, as how good you are as a player, there's no way he's better than DeRozan.
no,
I don't think it's a no way. I think it's close. But I have Middleton at 7.
To me, it's the gap between
got-
the
I have Middleton
stars.
at 7. Yeah.
It's the gap between the stars and the all-stars. DeRozan is a star, Middleton is an all-star, and that's where the gap exists.
I don't think it's a big gap though. I don't, because what they provide is different. Because I don't think DeRozan can do the same shit Middleton's doing on the Bucks.
No, that's
And
fine.
if you put Middleton on the
Middleton
Bulls, I
can't
don't
be
think
a
he does-
number one option.
I don't think Middleton's doing what DeRozan's doing on the Bulls, and I
No.
don't think DeRozan's doing what Middleton's doing on the Bucks.
No.
It's just that their play styles are very different. One's centered towards more winning, other one's centered more towards being better individually.
Yeah.
Okay. To be honest, I actually, in any world, didn't expect you guys to have Middleton under DeRozan. But now that you guys say it, I can see it. I can see it. I'm still taking the guy who can play defense. But, I mean, if you value offense that highly, number 6, I have Chris Middleton. I mean, I will admit, yeah, those playoff deficiencies, I mean, in the Bucks, or, sorry, when he was playing for the Bucks against the Nets in that series, he would
was
disappear.
bad, bro.
Against the Hawks, the first half, he disappeared. Against the Suns, the first 2 games, he'd disappear. And that's just something you can't risk when you're trying to make a playoff finals run when you have Giannis Antetokounmpo. So I can see your point. So I have him number 6.
Number 6, I've got DeRozan. I just think, he was balling out last year. Like, and again, it's the eye test. You watch it, and you
I
listen,
think
listen
it
to
was
the
the
way,
best year of his career.
Yeah, and
It was the best year of his
I
career.
don't think he's going to replicate that this year. I think he's going to take a step back. But listen to the way that other NBA players talk about him.
Yeah.
There's a ton of respect for him in the league. And to me, the opinion of other NBA holy shit.
Platters. NBA platters, guys.
You know what I realized? Last podcast, each and every one of us stuttered on Ime Udoka.
That's crazy.
It made
Ime Udoka.
Yeah,
It-
it's such a no out of nowhere name. But what were you saying?
Doesn't Charles Barkley call him an okie dokie? or
Probably.
something? But anyway, I just think so many NBA players have such a respect for him. And also, to me, the difference between DeMar DeRozan and Chris Middleton is DeMar DeRozan was getting guarded by the other team's best defender.
That is true.
Chris Middleton isn't.
I mean, it depends on what kind of team you have. I don't know. I feel like sometimes Chris Middleton is getting guarded by the best defender. Because Middleton and Giannis are two different kind of players to guard. Sometimes the center would
guess.
guard Giannis.
I guess, but you're
Sometimes
telling me Giannis doesn't create a little bit more attention towards him?
Oh,
To
he
the point
does,
where,
yeah.
You know, like if you've got, say, Andrew Wiggins on Chris Middleton, right, and you've got Draymond on Giannis, or you've got whoever on Giannis on just the Warriors. You're telling me Wiggins isn't going to pay a little bit more attention to Giannis because he's like, okay, no one's going to stop Giannis one-on-one.
Oh, he
So
is.
I got to come help side. You know, if he gets back down to the post or he gets blown by or something like that. So to me, even if Middleton's being guarded by the other team's best defender, he's not getting the full attention of the other team's best defender.
That's fair.
I got Debo at 6.
Oh, I think it's a D'Lo. I'm like,
No,
what are you
Debo.
talking about? Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Number 5 is a guy I thought you guys would disrespect. I like the respect. Brandon Ingram. I can't wait for his season. He already just showed up not only in the play-in, not only in the playoffs, but also the regular season this last year. Carried that. The Pelicans actually, even though they made the playoffs, they were still like 6, 7, 8 games below 500. But yet, it seems so crazy though because they were 1-13 without Ingram, so that's still like an impressive record. He's gonna have Zion now. He's gonna be able to. I feel like they're gonna share the responsibilities of playmaking between Zion, CJ, and Bi.
Was Ingram an All-Star?
He wasn't, and that was so disrespectful. I'm sorry.
That's crazy.
I mean, some people. I actually forget who replaced him. To get Chris Paul out of there, to be honest, but whatever. I guess the winning mattered, but yeah, that's who I have at 5.
5. I also have Brandon Ingram. I think he has all the tools to be a great player, and to jump up into that kind of superstar category. Yeah, I mean, he just is like that playoff series against the Suns. I was really impressed by him.
Yeah.
I have Slenderman at 5.
Okay.
Okay. And number 4, Jason Tatum, and it feels kind of disrespectful to put him this low, but just there's so much talent at these top 4 positions. Just overall, obviously amazing.
3 and 4 is hard, bro.
3 and 4
It's
is
a
hard.
hard
Like,
ass.
it actually no, it wasn't that hard for me.
I feel like it's hard. It's very hard.
Oh, we have something different. Okay.
All right.
Okay. So, but yeah, Jason Tatum overall, he didn't have the best playoff run per se. I still think though, people saying he had a bad playoff run. Obviously, he as much or not bad.
He had
But
a good
people
playoff
say
run,
Jalen
yeah.
Brown played better. You can say Jalen Brown technically played better, but at the same time, defenses are focusing on Jason Tatum and his playmaking way more than Jalen Brown. Jalen Brown has less responsibility. Overall, Jason Tatum was the best team on that Celtics run, and that's what I think of him.
At number 4, I also have Jason Tatum. And it's, I mean, I don't want to like jump ahead or anything, but I think we all know who it's between. It's between Jimmy and Tatum. Who would you rather have? Tatum is a great player, and obviously he like 6'9", almost 6'10", with that sort of a jump shot, that sort of handle. Like he's incredible, right? He's unstoppable when he's on. Jimmy Butler just has what I don't know. I don't want to call it mentality because that's an overused term. I don't want to call it like it's just he's got that dog in him. And Jason Tatum just I don't know if Jason Tatum does because I've seen like Jimmy in the regular season lays back more and he only averages like what 21, 22
Probably,
in the regular
yeah.
season. He is
Jimmy
dropping
Butler,
consistent.
I'm not joking. Jimmy Butler is debatably the best playoff performer in the entire NBA.
He really is like
And I think
in terms
I
of
think
consistent
I genuinely
great
think it's
playoff
between
performance.
2 players, and I don't think it's close.
22.
Yeah.
100.
But in terms of playoff performers, there's 2 in the league. 3. It's between 3 players that I think when the playoffs come, they're a different player.
It's LeBron,
Jimmy,
Jokic.
Who's the third?
Luka.
Luka?
Luka.
Oh, yeah.
He's averaging like 40-point triple double in the playoffs.
No, you know what?
Jokic.
I actually,
Or Luka.
I think Luka might be the best player.
Luka, I have Luka best player performer.
On this list, Jimmy
On this list,
is close to
It's
LeBron.
close to LeBron. Yeah.
But like LeBron's just had so many more
Yeah.
that it's. But
like-
you look at what Jimmy just does. There,
He was the best player in the playoffs last year.
Yeah,
I don't think it was
and,
close.
and
either.
in 2020, he was the best player in the playoffs.
I don't think it was close either.
He just however Jimmy is just
Yes.
turns it on when he needs to turn it on, and to me that puts him over Tatum.
Yeah. At number 4, I have Kawhi. I'm joking. At number 4, I have Jimmy. I mean, not Jimmy. Not Jimmy. I have Tatum. So
Oh, Tatum. Okay.
I don't mix this.
And number 3, it was really tough, but I had to go Kawhi Leonard just for the simple fact of, I mean, I really value playoff play, and I'm not saying Kawhi's a bad playoff player, but we haven't seen him.
He won a chip.
Okay, that was 3. Are we using stuff from 2, 3, 4 years ago?
Corbett, you can't say someone's a bad playoff performer. When
I never said he was a bad player
You
before.
just said he was a bad player performer.
I'm saying Jimmy's still on another level. I don't care. Playoff performer wise, I'm taking Jimmy Butler in the playoffs over Kawhi Leonard.
Okay.
Because maybe Jimmy Butler is going to give you 2021 sometimes, where he's just going to drop an absolute dud, get outscored by, who was it, like Grayson Allen or something? I don't know. But when he is on fire, and I don't even like using that term, like you guys were saying.
So
with
your
Michael Porter
reason
Jr.,
why
but,
Jimmy is above Kawhi is simply for playoffs.
when it gets to the top 5, yes, playoff. That's what I care about.
Kawhi Leonard didn't have like a fucking top 10 playoff run.
That's fine, but the last time we saw him he wasn't all that. No,
Last time we
to
saw
Jimmy
him-
Butler's level.
Last
Jimmy
time
Butler's
we
level.
saw him in the playoffs,
was when he
we
was
got
playing
for
the
his
Jazz.
ACL.
Yeah, and he was playing good before that.
He was playing good. I've never seen the Kawhi Leonard as a bad playoff performer. He's an amazing playoff performer, but Jimmy Butler
Seeing
is on a whole
someone's
nother
playoff
level.
performance values them higher than how good another player is quite absurd.
And you're also basing like playoff performance on just strictly scoring, as if Kawhi isn't also like locking up the other team's best player.
Jimmy Butler's doing that too. Jimmy Butler's also a better playmaker.
Not. He's really not, because Kawhi's gotten a lot better at playmaking in recent years. Like since he joined.
You're
the
telling Kenan, I want you to answer this with your whole heart. I want you to answer this with your whole heart, okay? If you're in a playoff matchup, would you rather play against Jimmy Butler or Kawhi Leonard? They both have the same exact players around them. Jimmy Butler or Kawhi Leonard?
Next year.
Yes, it doesn't matter. In the playoffs, who the fuck do you want to play?
Now, it's going to sound crazy.
7-game series.
When I ask you this, is Jimmy Butler past the first round already? Once he's past the first round,
Answer the question.
yes, I'm taking Jimmy. I just said that 17 times. Yes, I'm taking Jimmy Butler.
You would
You'd
rather
rather
play Kawhi Leonard than Jimmy Butler.
In the playoffs.
No,
You'd rather have your favorite team play Kawhi Leonard.
I guess yeah. I'd rather play Kawhi Leonard. Yeah. I don't care. You coming off a torn ACL. You guys are acting like it's crazy. It's not crazy. I actually think I'm in the majority, to be completely honest.
Well, you're in the majority, but you're wrong.
Listen. Yo, dog, are you good? I also would say, okay, let's not just take strictly how good they are as a player in the playoffs. As a leader, Jimmy Butler is a better leader than Kawhi
That's
Leonard
true.
is.
That is true.
That's true.
That's true.
That's fine.
But
When
dude,
Kawhi Leonard won it all, it wasn't even a debate who the leader was on the Raptors.
No.
That man was Kyle Lowry.
you don't want to be there.
Jimmy Butler, I guess he didn't make the
So-
finals last season. He was one shot short of potentially making the finals. He would have been the leader twice to an NBA Finals team.
I love Jimmy. I think Jimmy deserves a ring more than any other player in the NBA right now. But that does not make him a better player than Kawhi. Even though Kawhi Leonard has been out the entire year, I feel like we all know who Kawhi Leonard is.
I feel like some of us are forgetting who Kawhi Leonard is.
He's a superstar. I also
He-
think Jimmy Butler's a superstar.
He is honestly,
He is
I fear Kawhi Leonard more than I fear Giannis.
And there's
I fear
reason.
Kawhi Leonard more than I fear Giannis. Like, I'm being dead serious.
Well, then
Last time-
he better be number one on this list.
He's not. But let's go.
Because
But then why?
number one on this list is obvious.
Not close.
It is obvious.
Yeah.
But I'd rather play LeBron right now in the playoffs than Giannis. And you just said you'd rather have Kawhi than Giannis.
I said I'm more scared of Giannis. Like, if my team's going against the team, I'm more scared of playing against the Clippers than I am the Bucks.
Well, the Clippers.
But that's as a team.
Huh?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to
scared of
disagree
Kawhi.
with you there. With where Giannis is now, I think I would rather. play
That's just
Kawhi.
me because it's my favorite team, and I have Anthony Davis to stop Giannis. Not every team.
I'm
has
just saying
that.
any team. I'm taking. I'd rather play Kawhi Leonard.
Then
My
Jimmy
favorite team.
Butler, man.
Jimmy Butler has done that. I'm sorry, and I understand Kawhi Leonard was on an insanely one of the greatest finals runs we've ever seen. But I mean, in the last 2 years in the bubble in 2021, and he did get hurt, but he wasn't on this all-time playoff tier when he was. And if he was, maybe it was against the Mavericks. It was against the Jazz. Maybe against the Mavericks, but the Mavericks didn't have any good defenders at that time. They didn't have a system. They had a terrible. Not that
How much
Carlisle was
Kawhi
a terrible
dropped Game
coach.
7
But
versus the Mavs?
It's the Mavs.
How much Kawhi have? Because I know him.
probably averaged like
back and
28,
forth.
29.
No, no, I'm talking about Game 7. Let me look it up. Cam, say who your number 2 is.
My number two. Oh no, we're on number 3.
Yeah.
My number 3 is Jimmy.
My number 3 is Jimmy.
I was going to say that. Yeah, my number 2 is Jimmy,
Number 2 is Kawhi.
Number 2
I
is
think
Kawhi.
I think it's obvious.
and obviously LeBron's number 1.
And
Yeah.
obviously, LeBron's number 1.
So listen. And also, are you pulling up a Game 7? We're not doing Game 7s. We're doing.
Okay, you can talk.
We're
about
doing the
playoffs.
whole series.
This dude averaged 32, 8, and 5 versus the Mavericks.
Okay.
That means nothing.
That means nothing to you? That was the last playoff, the rounds versus the Mavericks, 2021.
That's a really good playoff performance.
You also
I
understand
think
that
Jimmy Butler's playoff performance because Jimmy Butler actually makes his team better. He runs the system. He is the leader. He's doing all of these intangible things that you want. It's not just the stats. It's not just the numbers. It's not just the shots going in and out.
every single player on the Clippers has talked about how Kawhi Leonard has improved as a playmaker and how his vision has improved. And you're telling me he doesn't make that team better?
Cam, is the expectation for everyone to talk like Doc Rivers? You're supposed to hype up your teammates, and you're supposed to lie even. I'm not saying they're lying, but I'm
I'm
saying
saying they're lying, but even just me watching, you're telling me he hasn't gotten better as
All
a
right,
playmaker?
hold on.
He's gotten better at ball
handling, he's gotten better as
But I haven't said.
Hold on. Last time we saw Kawhi in the playoffs, he was shit, apparently. This dude averaged 37, 5, 2 steals a game, a block a game, shooting 57% from the field.
That's fine.
That's fine. That's fine. I mean,
When I watched Kawhi Leonard and I watched Jimmy Butler in the last year, and Jimmy Butler, I guess I'm gonna use 2020 a little bit, 2021 a little bit, 2022 a little bit.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler had one bad playoff series.
Hold on.
Yeah.
We're not done here. Jimmy Butler in the playoffs just last season averaged 27, 7, and 5, 2 steals a game, shooting 50% from the field.
Oh, so
Identical stats, pretty much identical stats, but Kawhi averages more points, better efficiency, the rebounds are the same. Same rebounds. More efficiency, same steals. All Kawhi does is he's better efficiently, and he averages more points.
so when
and
Jimmy,
he's also a better defender.
He shot 40 from 3 also. Kawhi shot 40 from 3 in the playoffs. Where Jimmy shot 33.
I'm just a little bit confused. We saw Jimmy Butler he had to play without the second best scorer on that team in Tyler Hero. He was doing everything. I'm sorry, like the Miami Heat team, and there's a reason I always doubt them, is because they're a bunch of role players, and you need those. You need the Dorian Finney-Smiths, you need and let's go to the Heat, the Max Struces. But at some point, you need other shot creators. Bam wasn't doing it. Hero was hurt. Lowry is Lowry. He's terrible. Would
you rather have Kawhi on defense or Jimmy on the defense?
As of recent, I'm taking Jimmy, but Kawhi in his prime was a better defender. So when Kawhi's doing scoring at a high volume, his defense isn't there. His intensity isn't there like Jimmy Butler's is.
Corby, Kawhi Leonard is quite literally.
I don't like Kawhi Leonard. As a LeBron fan, I've had to fucking deal with this guy my whole fucking life. But I will give this dude the respect he fucking deserves.
In his defensive prime, he was a beast. He's not in his defensive
Kawhi
prime.
Leonard is legitimately one of the only players in the NBA to have actually defended Luka well in the playoffs.
You can't even say that.
No, you can say that because
Cam, he's averaging 40 in the playoffs.
No. If you look at his one-on-one stats versus Luka in possessions when he wasn't screened off of Luka, he actually defends him to like 40% shooting.
I don't know how true that is because Luka Doncic.
I also want to say what would stop. I mean, Jimmy and Luka hasn't played. I can't make an argument because Jimmy and Luka haven't played. But I just
Okay,
Jimmy
hold
would
on.
do the same.
I need to know. Would you? Okay, you know how I answered the Kawhi versus Jimmy question. Would you rather play against LeBron James or Jimmy Butler in the playoffs
Next season,
next season?
I think I'm taking LeBron.
You'd rather play against LeBron?
Oh, no, I'd rather play against Jimmy.
Okay.
LeBron's just a whole because LeBron he's giving you the scoring that Jimmy's giving you, but his playmaking is still. I'm really high on Jimmy's playmaking. But the LeBron's is to a whole new level, and we know that even though during the regular season LeBron doesn't lock in on defense, when he does lock in, it's on the same level as Kawhi,
That's not crazy to say.
and it's on the same level as Jimmy.
You're saying Jimmy's a better defender than Kawhi.
I am.
So you're saying LeBron's a better defender?
No, right after I said. Yeah,
When LeBron's
would you say
locked
LeBron's
in,
a better defender?
I'm being dead serious. When LeBron's locked in, there's not a better defender.
when it is playoff time, and it's not the last 2 games when Anthony Davis is already hurt against the Suns, LeBron is a really good defender. Just as good as Jimmy and just as good as Kawhi. And scoring-wise, they're all pretty similar. It's the playmaking that really... and the
LeBron's
leadership.
going to dime you up. LeBron's going to know all your team's plays. LeBron's going to know every...
Which is why
He
he's
can read
the
the
clear
defense.
number 1 on this list.
That's a 30...
I value leadership intangibles
Wait,
when it comes to this.
Current players are like
Current.
Okay.
This is like next season, or this season, whatever you call it. I just think Jimmy Butler... But he's not stupidly locked in, actually. When he's regularly locked in. When he's stupidly locked in, he doesn't do anything. I think you're really underrating his defense.
I know who Jimmy Butler is on the defensive end. He's clamping up damn near everybody in the league.
Because it's not even like he's a good individual. He's a leader on offense and
Corby,
defense.
he's just not Kawhi. Like, there's just a
I
difference.
think it's been a while since we've seen Kawhi Leonard play. I think it's not just Corby that thinks that like this Kawhi shit. I think a lot of people just forgot who Kawhi Leonard is.
Kawhi Leonard is going to
And he
remind
will
you
remind
who
people in
he's
due
going to
time
remind you who he
Who
is.
Kawhi Leonard is.
That's fine. I also, let me get this clear. Even though I'm saying Jimmy Butler's better, it's very similar and it's very ticky tacky. But I'm not gonna give a guy who just tore his ACL
Yeah.
the benefit of the doubt that he's gonna be better than the guy who just had like not one of the greatest, but he had an extremely amazing.
The way
playoff.
people are recovering from injuries now, you kind of got to give people the benefit of the doubt.
But there's still some people.
I mean, I
that
think
just aren't-
you're also
you know what I
forgetting
mean?
that, like,
Have you seen
as
Kawhi's
good
leg
as-
cam?
yeah.
Dude, holy shit! Got like, oh my.
No, he's looking. He's
It's like fucking AJ Dillon.
The Clippers. The Clippers have no excuse. I'm sorry. If you guys don't win it this year, then
Yeah.
you deserve everything coming to you because the Clippers deserve to win it.
let's just we can stop right here. Okay, hope you enjoyed, and we still don't have an outro, so peace.